Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Kaufman. I'm a family doctor turned CLL patient, and I'm here in Sydney, Australia at iwcll, and I'm with my friend Sharon Millman. Sharon, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Sharon Millman. I'm the CEO of Lymphoma Australia, so we're based in Brisbane, and we've been having a wonderful time talking about CLL over the last few days.
So tell us a little about what Lymphoma Australia does, what kind of work you do, and maybe a little bit about its relationship with CLL.
Well, Lymphoma Australia was founded by patients about 10 years ago, really because we believed there was an unmet need for patients who didn't understand what lymphoma was, they didn't understand the treatments. Since then, we've actually grown to wanting to raise more awareness about lymphoma and also signs and symptoms. And as part of that, we also would see CLL to be included with all of the lymphoma work that we are doing.
I see it as part of that too, yes.
So yeah, I guess it's lymphoma is made up of so many different subtypes, and CLL, SLL, and all of the other indolent and aggressive subtypes are what we're currently trying to look after.
So your work is in education, but you also do some patient support, and I know you do some advocacy work. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Definitely. Awareness is important because you probably know too, the lymphomas and many of the other blood cancers are just not as well known as some of the solid tumours. So for all of us, I think we need to make sure we're getting that awareness out there so that when someone is diagnosed, it's not about the fear of the unknown, it's about knowing what you've got and what treatments are available for you. The education days are critical to the work that we do because that's where you can actually meet with patients, you can better understand the needs of patients, and we can actually start to work on how do we get access to the best treatments that are available globally at the local level. So advocacy for us isn't just a little part of the work that we do. In fact, it's probably becoming one of the biggest parts of the work that we currently do.
So could you tell us what some of the things you're most proud of you've been able to do over the last 10 years?
Oh, I think sometimes, you just go, you look back on something and you go, that was a milestone moment for us. I think it's just taking lymphoma out of that place where people now don't feel quite as alone through the work that we're doing, by being able to provide patients with information so that they, one day someone picked up the phone and they said, I've just been diagnosed with lymphoma. Can you give me something? And I said, yeah, it's just, what's your name, what's your address? We'll send you some information. And he goes, and these are my credit card details. And I was like, I don't want your credit card details. We just want to give you this information. And my daughter was in the car with me at the time and she said, Mum, you could just hear the fear in that man's voice. And I think if you can actually start to give people that power to look after themselves, that's been big for us. But I think it's also making key decision makers now also more aware of what lymphoma and CLL means to someone when they're being diagnosed. So it's not just about, well, maybe we can't cure everyone right now, but we can certainly extend lives, and we can't do it on our own. So we want getting that message across the line has been important for us as well.
Important work, but I'm sure there are some frustrations and challenges you have. So let me ask you the tougher questions. What are the biggest challenges that you have ahead of you that you're looking forward to tackling?
I think the biggest ones at the moment are access to the best treatments here in Australia. Our regulatory process is a good one. It's robust, but I think we can learn from some of the global initiatives so that we can actually start to get better access. And definitely, like with the recent CLL Education Day, when you're sitting in a room and you actually don't have CLL, yet you feel the frustration and see the frustration of people that are having to pay for treatments, or they can see how great a treatment is, but they just can't get it. I think that's what then inspires you to keep going harder at what you're doing as well. So I think that's, if we can actually start to level that and have a more transparent and equitable process, that would be fantastic.
And getting more patient input would be really helpful too. And you have ways to help patients who want to make sure that their voice is heard when the government is making these decisions?
Yeah, we do. So patients are, I think, really many of us in the community don't understand how powerful we can be. So it's up to groups like us to actually start to educate our patients and say, you have a lot more power, and when the PBAC is meeting to...
PBAC, you want to explain that for the non-Australians?
Yeah. So the PBAC is pretty well much our regulatory body that looks at the new treatments that are becoming available, and then they make a recommendation to the Minister for Health to actually have it approved under our Medicare system. And I think until you actually have a disease or something that doesn't have an approval with a treatment, you don't actually understand that you can actually be doing something to change things. So in Australia, we do have the PBAC meets, and patients have got the opportunity to actually put a submission into the PBAC. And my meetings and my understanding to date is that they look on that very favourably, and we should take advantage of that option. And I'm hoping that CLL patients, if we can, collectively pull together on something here, we will actually make a difference for CLL.
Well, Sharon, thanks so much for what you're doing. Any final words or anything you want to say to CLL patients in Australia or around the world?
Well, in Australia, I think, there's many of you, and we can do a lot of work together. And I'm personally really looking forward to working more closely with the CLL Society. What you're doing is amazing work, and I think you'll be teaching us Aussies quite a few things, so we look forward to it.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.